Hello and welcome to MLS Ireland. Well, I'll be bringing to you my MLS predictions for week 9. Yes, we're getting into it and it's getting more exciting by the minute, so stay tuned. Perfect, let's get started into this week's predictions. I want to just give a shout out to Niagara Red TV for letting me on and having a wee preview of their Toronto game against Portland. And if you've watched that or haven't, I'll put the wee link below so you can just watch it when you want. And the short story is I'm not going to give you my prediction on this, so you can watch it on that. So I'm going to kind of cut that one out, but if you want to watch it, I will put the link below. And then the first game obviously is New York City against Orlando. New York City done very well last week. They're starting to pick up the games, even though they did beat a slow Chicago team, but Chicago are not to be sniffed at, and they beat DC United away the week before, last week. So they're getting back into the momentum and scoring goals. So I'm kind of getting this game to be 3-1 to New York City over Orlando. Even though I think Orlando are actually starting now to pick up games and starting to play quite well, I just kind of think this is where New York at home can kind of get onto the momentum and start winning games as they usually do, but I still don't think it is going to be their season. But after a few new signings, maybe what Dynamic wants, it may all pan out. But I can't see this happening this year, but I've been proved wrong before, if you ever watched this. And then the next is FC Dallas against San Jose. It is a tricky one. San Jose can surprise you, as we already know. They drew with Seattle in Seattle, which is a very good result during the week there. But I think FC Dallas is a wee bit more structured than Seattle, so I think this one may be a bit more easy win for FC Dallas. But I do see San Jose scoring a goal, but I'm going to go for 2-1 to FC Dallas, just for the fact is I think they're just a wee bit more game smart, if that makes any sense. The next one is Vancouver against Philadelphia. It's an interesting game. It's two teams that can go here but seem to go there. But when they play the bigger teams, they go there. But when they play the smaller teams, they go there, which is really weird. The two teams are basically the same. So I'm kind of going for this one for a 1-1 draw. It will be a draw, I think, but it being 1-1, it might be a 0-0. But I think it's going to be an interesting game. Philadelphia are pretty good playing away, and Vancouver are very good at home, as they beat LAFC there. It's just going to be an interesting game. Much happening in it, I'm not 100% sure, but I shall look out for it. And then the Atlanta against Colorado. It's going to be an interesting one. I've seen a lot of things around Twitter of what happens if actually Colorado beat them, which would be quite interesting. I don't see much happening then for Frank, because I think that may be near the end. Then I think the fans may turn on him, but I think Atlanta should win this one pretty easily. I'm going for a 2-1 win against Colorado. They need to start scoring goals, Atlanta, and they need to start doing it pretty quickly. The next one is the Red Bulls against Cincinnati. I think Red Bulls are really below par this season without Tyler Adams. Bradley Ray Phillips, I think he's kind of hit the wall now basically, and watch him score a hat-trick. And then Cincinnati are the new guys into the thing. I think they finally figured out how to play this, but are not getting the benefits of it, and they're figuring out how hard it is. So kind of going for a 1-1 draw, just for the fact Red Bulls are not very good at the moment, and I think Cincinnati may take advantage of that, of their young naive ways. And then it's Houston against Columbus Crew. Just going to go for an easy one for Houston. They should win this one quite easily. Just for the Columbus Crew got beat by DC United, who DC United were on a bad run of form, and they were playing away, and Columbus Crew were at home, so which is really weird. You would have thought that would have been a Columbus Crew easy win, but I'm going to go for Houston Dynamo because they do seem to play pretty well at home, and so I'm going to go for 2-1. And then the next one is Kansas City against New England. I feel sorry for New England at the moment. They just don't seem to be getting the rub of the green, if that makes any sense. So I do think Sporting Kansas City should win this one 2-0, but I've been wrong before. I think this is a kind of game where Sporting Kansas City may just walk in and think they're going to win it, and New England may surprise them. So if that's the case, then it could be a draw or actually New England win. But like my brain says Sporting Kansas City, so that's what I'm sticking with. The next one is Montreal against Chicago. Montreal are started off okay, then dropped when they got annihilated by Sporting Kansas City, and then they went straight up. So I think they're on a good wee run of form, and Chicago are a team that seems to be getting beat by the one goal. So I'm going to go for 2-1 just to Montreal. Like Chicago, I just don't think they're playing the right tactics for the right players that they have, so it's going to be an interesting game. So I'm going to go for Montreal in that one. Then it's Minnesota against DC United. DC United finally won their first game away from home in a long time, and against a very good team. So I'm going to go for, but with Minnesota at home, I think they may have a wee bit more momentum. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. This one, it was actually pretty hard to kind of think of a prediction, just because Atlanta are at home and they drew their last home game, the first home game, and DC United are finally won a game away from home, and they've got Wayne Rooney back and hopefully Acosta back. So I'm going to go for a 2-2. And then it's Seattle against LAFC. Now this one was a tricky one. I tried to think of a game where they played recently to see if I can get a wee comparison, and I didn't really think of one that came to mind. Oh wait, no wait, last week, yes, they played each other last week, which, if this is the MLS, I wonder why, did anybody actually really check the fixture list to say these two are playing a week apart, which is really weird. So quite bad on the MLS for their structure of schedules. They're horrible at the moment. But regardless, I think Seattle may lose this one again, just for the fact is LAFC are fantastic at the moment. They're playing Vela, Rossi, they're all playing very well, and I think Seattle may have a wee bit for them when they're at home on the bad pitch, you know, the crappy turf, you know, concrete crap. So it may be a tricky one for them, but I think they just may have a wee bit too much, as they did when they won their last season, on their first season, which was a pretty good goal from Rossi, which I remember. So I'm going to be interested in that one. So, but I think LAFC have a wee bit too much for them, and I'm going to win 3-2. It's going to be an interesting one. Then the LA Galaxy take on Real Salt Lake. Real Salt Lake are the team that I don't think anybody remembers, if that makes any sense. They're always a team that sit in mid-table and don't really upset the balance of anything, if that makes any sense. They're the team that you would forget about if you were trying to name if every team like in the MLS, they seem to go unnoticed, but they're always there, and they always spring up a surprising result, and you go, geez, I forgot that they existed. And they're playing LA Galaxy, who you can't really ignore because of Zlatan. So just for that fact, I'm going to go for a Zlatan 2-goal against Real Salt Lake 1. I think Zlatan may just get nicked 2 goals because they always seem to get a penalty, which is very strange. But regardless, I think they should win that one, and that is my predictions for this week. Hope you enjoyed them. If you like it, you know, give us a wee subscribe, a like, share, a comment if you're heading to a game, or what predictions you think I may have got wrong, which I would assume maybe a few of them. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye now.